The main reason why I believe that the Quran is the final revelation of God is because I believe that it contains content that only God could have known. You guys obviously agree, because I believe in 2 Peter it actually says explicitly that everything that is prophetic and spoken from a prophet is going to be initially from the Holy Spirit, right? Why don't you guys believe that the Quran is the final revelation of God?
Yeah, and I actually almost agree with you. So the miracle of the Quran is that Muhammad is like illiterate, but he gets all these things right. I want to talk about the stories of the prophets, because the Quran is 6,000 plus verses, and it contains 1,100 verses about stories of the prophets. That's a whole 1/6 of the Quran, meaning if he gets any of those 1/6 of the Quran stories wrong, then he's not a prophet, right? And so, for example, in 12 verse 3, this is the chapter of Joseph, right? Allah is saying, before this, Muhammad, you didn't know anything about the story of Joseph. And he reveals 98 verses in detail about Joseph. And he closes this chapter in verse 111 by saying, this is a confirmation of the previous scriptures and a detailed explanation of all things. So it's a confirmation also in its details. And so I read the 98 verses, but then when I go and I search the Torah's version of Joseph, I find incredible amounts of differences, and they're irreconcilable too. And there's 944 differences just in those 98 verses of Joseph. And to me, that's really hard to reconcile. And the only reason Muhammad would be a true prophet revealing the correct Quran is that if the Quran's account of the prophets do match up, and you probably know verse 10, verse 94, says if you're in doubt, go and read, or go and
ask those who read the scriptures before you.
And so when we go and look at not only the 7th century text, but the Dead Sea Scrolls from the 250s and the 1st century, and even extra biblical texts, right? You have Philo of Alexandria. He's a Greek philosopher, no motive for religion. You have the Roman historian Josephus, and then you have the Codex Alexandrinus, Syriac Peshitta, in Syriac, Greek, Latin, all these different languages, all talking about the same story of Joseph way before Muhammad's time. Muhammad comes with 98 verses of complete contradictions. The miracle of the Quran, according to you guys, is that Muhammad is illiterate, but he gets all the details correct. And we see that all over the place. And so he gets thousands and thousands of details irreconcilably incorrect in the stories of the prophets.
Over and over.
And I, as a Christian, I can never come and say he is from God, because that just doesn't make sense.